All right. Finally, time for painting. Let the games begin. All right, so let's see what we can get away with, right? So I've done some prepping. Little bit of patching here to cover up some holes. Slight sanding. I'm gonna see what I can do with getting away with that dirt still sitting up there. Along with these screws. Okay, let's remove that, but let's see what we can get away with. It is got a little bit of dirt on there. Okay. Well, alright. That I dusted off, so with just my hand. That I did not. And just slight there as well. Did some scrape some paint off of there as well as there to make it a little more smooth. So let's see what the outcome is with this. This is the before. We'll see what the Wagner does. And so for the door, some patching here with some putty. Gonna paint over all of that and that. And the putty was real dry, so I added water. It comes out real rough. I'm not even sure if it was worth doing that at all. So doorknob. Real rough, as you can see. But other than that, I tested it with my hand. Overall smooth. I mean, there's some drips from before. It would be a never-ending prep. So, seeing what I can get away with. So that's the door. This is the desk side, and those are some shelves that were thrown up with some lumber that I had in the back. And went over it with a sand blocker once because, as you can see, it's very dirty. So again, let's see what we can get away with. So looks like there's some holes here that I could have patched. I'll probably do that real quick before we start here. That's the wall. Some patching was done here, as you can see. It's fairly smooth, but there are some bumps there. Okay, this door, restroom door, the paint's been flaking. As you can see it's just flaking off there. Yeah, I'm too lazy to sand all of that down, but again, this is let's see what we can get away with. So that's the door there. And let's see what happens in time. You know, will the paint hold up? Will it not? So yeah, it does some flaking here. Oops, that's a piece of wood. I sanded it down a bit. to get the door to fit. So I did some chiseling and some prep work there. But whoops, oops. Okay, and like maybe that'll show you how it's chipping off. You see there? It's pretty flaky. It was, the door was sitting outside. Yep. So that's the inside of the door. So yeah, let's see how that holds up. I sanded that down with a sander to get that down in this part of the door, so it's further inset. And so I'll just be spraying this area here. It'll have overspray, so let's see how far that goes over. See what we can get away with the sprayer, the Wagner sprayer. Yeah, dirty. Oh, flip. I'll be spraying over all of that. Did a little bit of patching here. I'll be spraying all of that. So I'll probably start from top to bottom. Crap. All that. So I'll take that out. I'm gonna spray all that. I'm gonna spray over all of that. Some dust here too. I'll just cover the glass as I go, also with the fan. And yep, spraying all that. With this edge, I'm not gonna tape it. I'm gonna see what I can get away with. So we'll see what the overspray is like. But I'm just gonna spray up to here. But that metal part here, we'll see what the overspray is like. I've got some equipment covered up there, so spraying all of that. So alright, I think I'm ready. Got drop cloth right there. Just some documentation of the flooring. Let's see how messy it'll get. I haven't swept yet, planning for that after. But that's the floor. As of now, that's just dust from all the scraping. So alrighty. And the equipment set up with the extension cord and now ready to go. Alright, so we've got the completed paint job. So overall, I think it's great. Yes, a lot of lessons learned. Let us see what the damage is. All right, so cool. So remember the prepping on the door. So little bumps because everything wasn't smooth completely. The prep wasn't done well. Some patching here, can't even barely see it. you can. So little rough, but from afar, very not noticeable. Remember, this was super dusty, and during the spraying, it just went everywhere. But from the bottom side, you can hardly tell. But decent coverage. Decent coverage. Decent coverage. And overspray. But yeah, eventually wrap the AC, but a lot of overspray. And I have to clean the vents. Decent coverage. Decent coverage. Little rough from the dust, but overall good coverage. Wanted to show the gaps here. I was able to, I shot it a little thick here to try to cover into this crack. I was able to fill it at a certain point, but you can see how thick the paint is on the left to the right of the crack. I was able to fill some parts, some holes and whatnot. I was not able to get, or the crack fills, but I was able to get some. So yeah, that'd be better if those prepped better. But other than that, I'm very happy, and I think it looks good enough for a man cave too. So I got a lot of overspray on the glass. As you can see, I've scraped some off, and but yeah, overspray. So I did a lot of overspraying. My covering and tape jobs weren't that good. Again, seeing what I could get away with. Remember, this was rusty, and some rust spots have kind of come through, so I think that's going to take another touch up to do, maybe with a chip brush. So a lot of overspray there, but got good coverage, and came out nice and neat, I think. Remember, this was all, that was a brown door, and the top here was real dirty, which I barely prepped, maybe just wiping with a wet towel, or I think with the sanding block, just a real quick scrub, and there was a lot of dirt, but decent coverage. I do see a little grime coming through there, but overall it was about 2-3 coats, and overall really good. That'll need some patching, or maybe probably another coat right here. I'm not sure why it's kind of discolored there. Maybe not sure. It was like that prior, but could have done a little bit better there. But those are embedded nails, and I didn't really patch them well. But overall, a nice clean look. Remember, the door was horrible. You could see some of the paint, the previous paint chips under there. But now eggshell, and overall clean. Cleaner than before. Can still see a lot of kind of some roughness there. Some roughness. I think I could have sanded a little bit more, but we're seeing what we can get away with, right? The other side of the door, I still gotta get a chip brush and do that, but overall, a little rough here, but I think it still looks great. A lot of overspray back on the pole. I wiped it down, but it oversprayed once again, so I'm gonna leave that as a design element. A lot of overspray, as you can see, on the ladder, everywhere. The floor I had to scrub once, so the floor, that part, I decided to spray over the cement. Not sure how long that's gonna last, so that's another test. And so yeah, some rough spots, a lot of overspray. Yeah, lots of overspray. So let's reveal what has occurred. So what I learned is, yeah, the spray will get everywhere. Everywhere. Which is good and bad. It's gotten most of the pole. I'm not sure if you can see, but right in the back side, it couldn't reach that. But I was amazed with the coverage with the spraying. You can get to these crevices and cracks and nooks. This sprayed very easily and quick. But the overspray came back into my face and everywhere. Yep, that got overspray everywhere. Into the blades. That was brand new. And as you can see, the overspray, it went out. Not focusing well. Trying to show you the outside cover. It got everywhere. Shot the roof from afar. I couldn't always get up on my ladders, but while I was here, I thought I'd be able to control the spray more. I did on this side, got a little bit more control spraying with the spray pattern vertically, but still there's always going to be overspray, so everything's got to get taped. And yeah, overspray everywhere. Everywhere. It's going to get everywhere. Lesson learned. Everywhere. If you remember, I was just kind of tossing a piece of newspaper over that. Decent coverage. So, overspray everywhere. A decent coverage. So now we know what it can do, what I know. Now you know what it can do, can't do, and lessons learned. So this is a real deal from a real amateur, which is me. And this is what it'll do. what you can get away with, what you can expect. And yeah, so there you go. Hope that helps. Oh, and I had to use my desk, so this was dust from the sandpapering, but it'll get everywhere. I think it's on the laptop too. I did cover it. The plastic wrap did help tremendously. If not, I would have been very upset and disappointed. So there you go. I think it was a success, and I'll keep you guys updated to see how the paint holds up with the limited prepping and covering, and we'll see how it holds up. All right, thanks guys. Aloha.